You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is market historian Bob Hoye. He's the chief investment strategist for chartsandmarkets.com. He's speaking to us from Vancouver. Welcome back to the show, Bob, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, indeed. Yes, that is a good one, isn't it? Coming up, I've always enjoyed them. There's a neighborhood pub that is very good for a St. Patrick's Day evening. So,
well, let's see if we can find a pot of gold somewhere in these questions from our listeners. Our first batch of questions come from Bill. Hi, Bob. What's your opinion on tariffs? Will they bring back manufacturing and advanced tech jobs, and aren't they good?
Well, let's just do them one at a time. Not really. I see what Trump is trying to do. European countries and whatnot are, it's a one-way ticket. Many European cars come into the States, and the States doesn't sell any cars into Europe. So, it's all kind of a closed-door system. So one thing on the tariffs is to end up with a stronger country and get rid of, at least deny those who are making it difficult for trade with the U.S. So I like the idea of doing it, and it's going to set up a country stronger, and also I think the objective with Canada, one is to ridicule Trudeau by calling him Governor Trudeau of the 51st state. I think the end result is he wants to have a free and open border, north-south, and goods flowing through, and you end up with a very huge economy from the U.S. and into Canada with resources. So it's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have Trudeau to kick around anymore. He officially resigned today, and Mark Carney is now Canada's new prime minister.
Yeah, but the tariffs are, they're sort of a one-shot thing to set up. Now, also part of Trump's pushing on this is that it's setting off a movement in Canada to get rid of all the protectionist and tariff measures from province to province to province. And this is a very good idea to open up free trade from province to province in Canada. I welcome it, yeah.
So a positive result for Canada there.
Yeah, but they think it's going to cause a recession. No, recession is a cyclical event that happens, and what you also get is typically, if you get into a serious recession, then individual countries come in with protectionism to protect their own labor forces, and then you have tariffs and all kinds of things that way. But that's the natural one on a recession. This one, Trump is just setting up the goalpost, an outline. So I welcome what he's doing with them, and the end result would be a huge trading continent. Wonderful. So, yeah.
Did the tariffs imposed in the U.S. during the 1930s Depression make it worse?
Yeah. But that was natural. That was during the Great Depression, when when countries go to protectionism. So that's ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. Another question from Bill: will tariffs be inflationary, deflationary, or neutral over the long term?
It's kind of neutral. It's a one-shot deal.
And his third question: how does this relate to your thesis of a financial bubble and expected long-term financial bust to return to normalcy? Yeah,
well, you can say because they're so recurring. That great bubbles are quite methodical, as are the great recessions or great depressions that follow them. So I think I've got 4 individual identifying features for the transition from a great bubble to a great depression. And you can say they're on track for a serious contraction.
Now, from our friend Michael, sobering news. According to Yahoo News, U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday threatened to impose 200% tariffs on wine, champagne, and other alcoholic beverages from European Union countries in retaliation against the bloc's planned levies on American-made whiskey. Bob, I'm confused. World leaders are advocating diplomacy to stop ongoing physical conflicts, but how is restricting the import-export of alcohol conducive to diplomacy? Aren't diplomatic cocktail parties in world capitals essential for diplomatic dialogue?
Very good point. Yeah, I admire. Yeah, no, you got it sketched out good. That's a good one. And as I say, these tariff things by Trump are exceptional, but they have a goal. The tariffs that you get in a post-bubble depression are natural, and they will happen at some future time. And also, again, to mention Canada, if they get rid of all the tariffs and anti-trade features from province to province in our country, that would be a good thing, too.
Yes, they'll be able to buy BC wine in Ontario and Ontario wines in BC, although, why would you? I'm sure there's some fine wines from Ontario from the Niagara region.
Yeah.
I'll try one out even.
Okay, good idea.
Although, back in the 90s, when BC won 23 gold medals at the Vintners Worldwide Convention in London, and I arranged with my boss to get off work early and take SkyTrain to it because I planned to try all 23. So, and I think they really were worthy of gold medals, especially BC's ice wine.
Yeah.
Which is really a dessert on your tongue. Like the Irish would say, like angels dancing on your tongue.
Oh, okay.
Now, also from Michael, financial pundits have been advocating the rotation into emerging markets as an alternative to fully priced U.S. markets. Bob, I'm further confused. I thought.
That is not a good idea, because what happens is at the end of a business expansion, it's the outlying countries, lesser countries, that start to fail first. And then eventually the financial problem comes into the financial center now in New York, and the senior currency is now the U.S. dollar, whereas before the financial center was London, and sterling was the senior currency. So the venue has moved to New York, but it'll be the same thing. You get into the real recession, and then each country, politicians are desperate, and they'll be coming in with protectionism, stuff like that.
That was the philosophy of Marcus Tullius Cicero, was it not? What happens in outlying provinces finally comes to roost in the capital?
He pointed out, and I can't remember the exact words, that when a financial problem appeared, in this case in Phoenicia, at the eastern end of the Mediterranean, when it appeared there, it was inevitable that it would hit the financial center in Rome. Yeah, good memory there. Yeah.
And our third set of questions comes from our friend Kathleen. Hi, Bob. Hi, Jim. Gold touched $3,000 this week. Gold bugs are singing, "We're in the money." Ginger Rogers, adorned in gold coins, sung the song "We're in the Money" in the opening scene of the movie Gold Diggers of 1933, which is, by the way, a terrific movie if you can find it.
Oh yeah, I'll look for that one. One that there's an excerpt from one with Bob Hope, the big broadcast in 1938, where he sings his theme song, Thanks for the Memory, and with Phyllis Ross. It is absolutely fabulous clip. But I'll definitely look up this Gold Diggers in 1933.
Now, Kathleen goes on to say in 1933 is the same year President Franklin Roosevelt signed an executive order forbidding the hoarding of gold coins, including gold jewelry. President Gerald Ford lifted the ban in 1977, believing the U.S. can return eventually to a gold standard. But, Bob, where does gold stand now? Will it be banned by the Trump administration, maybe in favor of Bitcoin, or will rationality eventually prevail with a gold-backed U.S. dollar? Will we eventually be celebrating a new gold standard, singing along with Ginger, we're in the money, the skies are sunny, old man depression, you are through?
Yeah, Kathleen has always got the musical numbers, and I welcome them. Yeah. It is quite likely that sanity will return, and the senior currency will be convertible into gold at a fixed price. And it doesn't matter what the fixed price is. They just, like the way I suggest they do it is, okay, folks, beginning Wednesday, the U.S. Treasury will meet all obligations, all demands for gold, and will buy any gold that comes to the Treasury. So, and that's what happened in 1875. I think it was 1873 when Grant said we're getting off of the greenback, and then there was all kinds of worries that there wasn't enough gold and that sort of stuff. But hey, it was a whole lot better to use real currency notes backed by gold than walk around with your pockets full of gold. So it worked very well when they went back onto gold in 1875. And I think it'll work just as well this time when it happens.
Bob, gold hit $3,000 U.S. for the first time ever. What's your opinion on that? Is it going to go even higher?
I looked at the technicals on it. It's maybe a bit ahead of itself, but we didn't see anything topping on it, nor did we see... we also took a look at silver, which has been getting some strong interest here now, and it doesn't seem to be excessive trade at the moment. So just see where they're going to go.
We'll take a look at some of the headlines that caught Bob's eye right after this.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Bob Hoye. Bob, some of the headlines that caught your eye. The first one's from Yahoo. Even conservatives are worried about Trump's plans to slash the Internal Revenue Service.
I think that's a bit of a contrived line. I think a true conservative or a libertarian would be very pleased to see it. Now, he's attempting to go with the tariffs and whatnot. He's attempting to end up with the federal government receiving enough revenues from taxing things that they can end the Internal Revenue Service. That means no more income tax. And that is a wonderful idea, and if it happens in the States, and I believe it will, it'll happen in Canada too, and get rid of the Department of whatever. But when income taxes were first introduced in early 1900s, there were certain moral philosophers who said this is outrageous to tax money before you received it, and also at first it was just like 1.5% or 2% on above certain numbers, like wealthy people. That's how they do it. Of course, they attack the wealthy people first. But no, I think we're heading for sound money, sound politics, and a senior currency that is convertible into a fixed amount of gold, and there will be enough gold around to meet all obligations. So.
A headline from several years ago in Canada, some $50 billion in uncollected taxes, mostly from very wealthy people who have accountants to help them hide it. Also, the Panama Papers revealed that most of Canada's retired prime ministers have tucked their money away in places like Panama to avoid the tax man.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. Now, from Bloomberg, gold shines bright as biggest jewelry market boosts option bets.
Yeah, I liked it. It was just a sensational headline.
Okay. From the Wall Street Journal, this is no way to run a trade war.
Again, it's just such a well-crafted headline.
Yes, I remember the Wall Street Journal said the trade war is the dumbest one ever, and that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, from Bloomberg, impossible Trinity conundrum has caused a cash crunch in Asia. What's an impossible Trinity, Bob?
Well, I'm not certain. There's a difficult something or other. I didn't have time to look it up. It was just a spectacular headline.
Well, from Business Television today, I saw China is encouraging its banks to open up their purse strings to consumers to get their economy going again.
Yeah. Well, what happens once you start the contraction, it's like pushing on a string. It doesn't work.
Also, from Wall Street Journal, tariff wars are often short. Their legacies are not.
Yeah, that's another good headline.
So Canadians aren't going to forget this thing for a while.
No.
Now, from Yahoo, Tesla stock tumbles over 15%, wiping out post-election gains as demand worries continue to weigh. And just today, the BC government removed the rebate you could get if you bought a Tesla.
Yeah. Well, electric vehicles, which really are battery-powered cars, are impractical. The rage for them was based on the fact that they didn't have a tailpipe for bad stuff to come out. But just making the things, you need all kinds of rare earths and mining this and mining that, and hugely expensive for what you get. I think some governments were giving you about $8,000 to encourage buying this. Now, when did a government ever do anything right? So the electric vehicle is economically impractical. It's being discovered now, and there's going to be a whole lot of industry that was built up building these things and then marketing them, servicing are going to be on the wrong side of the equation.
From Bloomberg, trade wars won't make American farming great again.
Yeah, I like that headline. So, yeah, it would help agriculture, definitely, if they've got a pretty good pricing system. But the problem is and particularly in Canada, there's too much marketing boards, dairy marketing boards, it's just egg marketing boards. I mean, I haven't looked at it in a few years, but I remember one time they were selling eggs very cheap into the United States in order to keep the price of eggs high in Canada. And that is an example of these marketing boards, and what they do, they're set up so that you protect the least efficient producer and you keep them alive. It's ridiculous. So I think stuff like that is going to go. The election coming in Canada would more than likely have the Conservatives with Poilievre as the winners on that, and Poilievre has got a pretty good handle on what's going on out there. So I think a pretty good reform movement is possible in Canada.
And from Bloomberg, growing fears of corporate defaults hit U.S. credit markets.
Yeah, that's just another signaling headline.
Bob, always great chatting with you.
Yeah, Jim, to be good to be with you, and we look forward to getting together again next week.
My guest has been market historian Bob Hoye. He's the chief investment strategist for chartsandmarkets.com. If you have any questions for Bob, you can send them to info@housestreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on X @HoweStreet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HoweStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HoweStreet.com radio is a production of Howe Street Media Incorporated.